Let's take a look at the hollow body rock. This is one of our favorite ab exercises, and it starts off by getting into our hollow position. So I'm just gonna have Susan come into hollow hold to start with. So this is a really nice long expression of hollow, right? The legs are barely off the floor. She could probably even come down a couple of inches further, put more load into the low abs. Arms are reaching back, and she's maintaining a little bit of a curve in her low back. So she's not trying to push her low back into the ground, but she's creating force in that direction. Go ahead and rest for a second. So if that is our full expression of hollow hold, let's regress back and take a look at our basic version. So come on up, and this time you're just gonna grab the front of your knees. So this is a totally good place to start with your hollow hold if you're struggling with it. This is also our first version of a hollow rock. So I'm just gonna have Susan take this into a little bit of a rock. And what you'll find is that your abs have to do some work to hold the legs in. If you have trouble creating a rounded shape through your low back, then this is a great place to be. I'm gonna have Susan just take her hands off her legs and reach her hands out and keep rocking. So this is version 2 of our hollow body rock, right? The arms are no longer assisting the legs, but it's still very kind of gravity friendly. It gets harder once we start to cantilever out. Let's come out to 90 degrees on the arms and the legs. Hands are gonna reach towards the ceiling, and another little rock. So now we start to see that this is gonna be getting a lot harder, but if you take a look at that waistband on Susan's shorts, we see that her abs aren't moving, her ribs aren't moving. That center line is really nice and stable. Last version, let's come out to full expression. And here we go. And Susan's having a little bit of a hard time keeping that little bit of a curve in her low back, which is why there's a little bit of a jostle to this. It's not quite as smooth as it could be, but it'll get there with practice. Go ahead and rest for just 1 second. What's really important, whatever version of the hollow rock that you take, keep that little bit of rounding through the low back so that you can keep this really smooth and fluid. The other piece is don't let yourself come up to rest. So this is a really common fault. Susan, what I'm gonna have you do is come back to your full expression, and I want you to rock up so far that you're almost resting when you're, there we go, right? She's finding that nice little bit of balance on her tailbone. It looks very yoga. And it's not a bad place to be. You're certainly not gonna hurt yourself, but every time you go there, your abs actually get to relax, which makes this a little bit less effective. So one more time, here's version 4. This is our full expression of a hollow body rock. Nice and long spine, little bit of recurve on the low back, subtle movement. Her feet are barely moving at all to generate this force. Susan, thank you. Guys, that is our hollow body rock.